Because Matt's not coming, so I
No.
haven't heard from him.
All right, good morning. The July meeting of the local alcoholic beverage board of Warrick County is now in session. This meeting is being audio and video recorded and streamed live via Microsoft Teams. Will be preserved and available for viewing via the ATC's YouTube page. So the board requests that you act accordingly. Please silence your cell phones. When we call you, we ask that you not speak over the board members or others testifying so the recording is clear. You guys are here today for a violation, so if you would please raise your right hands. Yes, you're here for a violation?
Yeah.
Yeah, please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the answer is given on your application and any answers to any questions asked by the board to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
All right, Segovia Incorporated has asked for a continuance. They are away today and unable to attend the hearing, so we'll grant them a second continuance to the August meeting. Remaining items on the agenda for automatic renewal today are Rolling Hills Country Club Incorporated, RC 87-09863, and Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 148, RC 87-18164. Those two are without violation and without remonstrance. I make a motion we approve our two automatic renewals.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0, none opposed. And the final remaining item on the agenda today is a permit with violation that is Rudra Incorporated, DL 8733710. If you want to come up. You guys are here today on a violation that was issued to your tobacco and alcohol license on December the 1st of 2025. And that violation was for public nuisance and drugs. So why don't you go ahead in your own words and tell us a bit about that violation?
Okay, so like sometime last year, this pre-roll they was legal in Indiana, state of Indiana, and we got notified that it is not for sale anymore, and we had it like separated from the shelves. We're not selling in the storage. That way we can return it to the distributor. And so I mean, that was with the return label and that, but when the officer came and he checked, he checked everything in the office and everything, and that's where he find, but that was not for sale. That was return, it needs to be returned to the vendor.
Okay. What's your name?
Sanket Patel.
Okay. And who is Pariksit?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I want to read a little section of this report to you, also for the board's sake, but for you as well. This says, quote, during the inspection, I looked around the area behind the sales counter. While back here, I saw a black box with a yellow lid under the counter near the register. I began to pull the box out, and this gentleman said that there was food in the box. Then opened the box and saw several marijuana smokable hemp products inside. One of the product displays inside had the price of $20.99 written on it, indicating they were for sale. There was also a container of pre-rolls that said it was a 30 count of pre-rolls. However, there were only 7 left inside the container, indicating they had sold some of these. Conducted a search of the rest of the premise and did not locate any other marijuana smokable hemp products. So that does not sound like you were preparing it for return to the manufacturer.
So we were returning, because whatever, sometime when it is like the half a box, it was going back to the return. So that is the main plan. We are not planning. We didn't put anything in the shelf though.
Okay, well, just because
any customer can see or anything.
Okay, well, just because the customer can see it doesn't mean that you're not actively selling it. I think that's the premise of this little narrative here that I just read to you. This reads as though you were concealing it, still selling the product, and the report indicates that there were some pre-rolls that you had already sold. So if you were going to return it back to the wholesaler, or you were going to try to return it back to the wholesaler, why did you not just remove it from the store or remove it to a storage area instead of keeping it by the cash register?
I mean, that could have been one box, but it was the intention was fully to return it to the vendor and not anything to sell it to the public.
Okay, when did you get the notice that you were to remove and stop selling these smokable smokable hemp products?
We never got the notice. It just says like, you have to follow because that is also come from the officer that like, we never got any official notice.
Okay, and this product had been illegal in the state of Indiana for several years.
It was like, when we purchased the store last year, it was legal. And
No, it was not.
was, I mean, to
It may not have been enforced at the time, but it definitely was not legal at that point.
because this is not the actual marijuana, it is like the hemp, THC,
Yes.
delta, and that delta was like legal to sell in state of Indiana at the time.
This is a smokable hemp product that is outlawed by statute in the state of Indiana.
But I think we purchased a store in 2024, and I mean, to my knowledge, it was legal until like, he says like it is recently been implicated that this is not legal.
Okay.
And
it's not been legal for a number of years. It's just not been enforced for a number of years.
Because we mostly go, because whenever we get these news, we check with the wholesaler that like, is this, because when we get from him, that is the main source of he tell us that, okay, we cannot sell it to you. So we mostly verify with him. Now, recently, there is the new vape law that like out of country vapes are not legal in Indiana. So we mostly check first thing is with the wholesaler, because when we called ATC, they are not sure, like, they say like, whatever is the law, there is not a specific letter that comes to you. But if it is been if the new law has been passed,
well, it's not a new law. I think that's the issue at hand here, is that it's a law that has existed for a few years and that you had this product and you were selling it inside your business.
Because that is because like, we even purchase from the wholesaler after that. Until like, they say like, this is not legal. And that was not a month or 2 months before.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that the wholesaler is correct or doing the right thing either.
But that, I mean, you can guide us where to check, we can completely verify. Because when we also check with the other businesses.
Well, the check is the statute. And the statute prohibits the sale of smokable hemp products. Right, the law is the standard. Right, not a letter or a notice from the ATC, not a letter or notice from the wholesaler. The actual statute created by legislature is the existing standard which you are to abide.
Yeah, but like, I mean, still, like we did not sure. Otherwise, like we would not ever keep it. We don't want to lose our license for the small thing, for the just one product.
Okay, so that's a fair point. So why didn't you remove it from the store then?
But as soon as we know that like this is not the legal in state of Indiana, and that is like almost like 6 to 8 months after we took over the store, and this has been recently take over, in 2024. That's when we purchased the store. I'm mainly from Kentucky, but this is the first store in Indiana. So
okay, but you need to familiarize yourself with Indiana law, right? Multi-state corporations, multinational corporations, they have to familiarize themselves with the laws and where they're doing business. So I don't consider that to be a valid excuse that you would say, well, I didn't know the law in Indiana. You must make yourself aware of the law.
No, like, that's what I'm saying. Because when I purchased, like, store in Indiana, first I check with that supplier, because like supplier is the main source of the person that like, even if it is illegal to sell, he should tell that, okay, you cannot keep this in your store. So that is
you keep going back to the wholesaler and blaming the wholesaler. You are the owner of your business. You are the one responsible for the products contained inside of it. It's not the wholesaler's fault that they're selling you a product. It's your issue that you're selling the product. I mean, what do you think that smokable hemp is, if not a drug?
like, it is.
No, just answer that. No, just answer that question. That's a direct question. What do you think that smokable hemp is if it is not a drug?
it is the drug, you know.
It is a
like,
drug.
It is considered in a drug.
It is.
like-
So do you not take a roll of the dice whenever you sell a product that is skirting the lines of a drug inside of your store while asking for a state issued license?
I need to make sure everything on the very first hand, like that is the, I mean, that is my mistake on the very first hand. But like in the future, I'll make sure everything, that we sell, we have the proper authentication. That like, okay, this product is, but one question for me is like, how to check what is the source, whom should we verify with?
The law.
Because
The law is the source. The statute is the source. And if you have questions about that, then you need to request a legal interpretation with the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission as to what would be a permissible product or commodity to sell inside of your store. Is it legal? Is it not legal? You can reach out to the county prosecutors. Is it legal? Is it not legal? Asking a wholesaler probably not going to give you the soundest legal advice.
that's where is all the confusion happened in this particular case, because I was trusting the wholesaler that like, if they give the information, that should be right. Otherwise, like when I purchased the store, that store came with that, in the inventory, they had a lot of that. And
Does that make it legal?
that does not make it legal, but like, to our point is like, when someone whom from like we are taking over the store, if the stuff, I mean, that particular product is in the store, we thought like it is legal, and that's it is still legal to sell. But at that time, like if the law changes before we take over, we were not sure of the Indiana.
Okay, so to paraphrase your position, your feeling is because it was in the store and it was being sold before that there must not be an issue, so you didn't need to do due diligence and check.
That I accept, that is my mistake,
Okay.
like, I mean, that was my mistake on the very first hand. I should have checked it. Now I know like these consequences. So anything, even if I purchase from anyone, like I would make sure first thing that, okay, this product is comply with the ATC or the Indiana Alcoholic Beverage Commission. That before purchasing that, I need to make sure every single item. If it is like anything nearby, not like any related to any kind of drug or something.
And do you maintain your position that the box with a price display on it underneath your cash register
So
was going to be returned or attempted to be returned?
actually, that happened is like whenever we get any item, we just price tag every boxes. Even though if it is like 3 months old purchase or a 4 month old purchase, because that is the way, like, that is the price point for the, like, even the cashier to sell what price. Because they don't remember every product, or every product cannot be like come in the like scannable item. So that particular one would be the old sticker, not to sell. But I do accept my mistake that, I should not have trusted from the beginning and do my due diligences on the very first hand.
Okay, gentlemen, any follow-up questions?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, it's your responsibility to make sure that everything that you have available for sale is legal to sell. And you know that if you don't accept that responsibility and you get caught with a violation, you could lose your ability to sell product, alcohol product, or you lose your license as far as Alcoholic Beverage Commission. So it would behoove you to make sure that everything you got for sale is
Is checked with the ATC.
well, it's legal to sell. And make sure that all of your employees understand that too. And if you have anything like that on the premises, you need to discard it, get rid of it.
Yeah, I would not put in the even storage or nearby any shelves. You just put it like in the trash bag.
Yeah. It is, like the responsibility is yours. Because as the owner and as the person that has the permit to sell, you gotta make sure that what you're selling is legal to sell. And it's different from state to state, but the Indiana statute is what determines whether it's illegal or not.
Okay.
So I'm looking at just some records here, and the operation for eradication of smokable hemp products and tobacco and alcohol license locations began the beginning of October of 2025.
Yeah, so it was like, they stopped that like.
Oh, no, I'm not presenting that to you as a defense. What I'm saying is that there was a 2-month period between when this operation began and when it was in the news and enforcement efforts were happening and seizures were happening. There were 2 months there where you would have heard by that point that this was happening. And I think the whole point where I'm not believing what you're telling me is that there was a 2-month period where active and aggressive enforcement was taking place, and you still had this in your store hidden underneath the cash register.
Most of them were in the office, where like, it was like packed for the return. Some might be there. I'm like, I'm not really sure exactly because I was not physically present there. So, but that is my responsibility now on that, like, anything happened, like I'm fully, and that's why, like, I think they have suspended the license for a week or so too. And we fully comply with that and did not sell any kind of tobacco product in that suspension period for I think a week or so.
Were they fined?
Yes,
They were fined?
back into the settlement.
But
Do you,
like,
do you have the receipt for that product? You happen to have the receipt from the wholesaler?
we need to find it, but we probably have that.
Is there any chance that, if you
Because-
ever move stuff from Kentucky to Indiana, product that like maybe you purchased it in Kentucky and brought it to Indiana to sell it?
No, these wholesaler, they supply everything in every state. Even Kentucky has like no more. Kentucky has also removed it from the shelf in December or so, or during the same time period, I think, November, December. So I think it is not even legal to sell in Kentucky, and we removed everything, whatever we have from the shelves.
$1,000 Frenchie. 1,000.
1,000?
Yes.
And it was paid. You understand that, if you repeat violations can end up losing your license.
Yeah, no, this is never gonna happen, I'll pretty much make sure, but like one thing, instead of this relying, so you say like, make sure everything with the ATC, right? Call them and verify with them if it is legal or not.
Yeah. Because they will come back and inspect you.
Yeah, no, that's
When
fine.
you least expect it.
Yeah, yeah.
You have anything else?
No.
No? Hey, well, you had the report from the
Mhm.
investigator. What's your take on it? I mean, I heard everything you said. It was.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that it was for return.
But for this point going forward, your suggestion.
I mean, I have my thoughts, but I don't want to sway the board vote, so I'll not give my opinion prior to a vote.
I just think they have to understand how serious it is and they could lose their license and ability to operate in Indiana or,
Yeah.
And, as long as that's understood, you know that you're gonna be under the watchful eye going forward. People are gonna come and investigate and, if it happens again, this is a major problem.
No, that is true.
So, I mean, I think it was unfortunate that, the investigator, his take on it was that we're doing this, concealing it and do it intentionally. That's not a good thing. But,
But I can assure that, it's never gonna happen in my businesses in India.
well, if it does, you might not be in business in Indiana. So,
Yeah, that is, I don't want to take a risk
Yeah.
for that particular one thing,
Yeah.
and that is not like, it is the big responsibility I took on the business than that product.
And you're gonna be held accountable.
Yeah.
Okay, floor is open for a motion or a vote, or we can do roll call.
I'm not happy with the investigation. The results of the investigation says one thing. And you actually said another, but I think that, as long as you know, and you paid your fine, and you know that you violated it, and you know that you can end up losing your ability to operate in Indiana. And I think that, under the watchful eye of the Alcoholic Beverage Commission, that we approve him to stay in business, and with the violation, that we go ahead and approve his it was just a renewal, but then
Yes.
but we go ahead and approve his ability to renew his license, with the caveat that if it happens again, no matter what, it's gonna be severe consequences.
Okay.
So I recommend that we approve with that caveat.
So that's a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, motion is for renewal with a second. All in favor of that motion?
I,
Nay. Reason for the nay, your testimony does not match up with what the facts of the case are, what the report, and the fact that you're selling a drug that's been illegal. Okay, so it's a 2-1 vote for approval. This will go to the State Commission for consideration on the 21st of July. Do you have any other questions? A 2-1 vote in favor of renewal.
Okay.
To go to the State Commission on the 21st.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but like, I'll make sure nothing gonna happen. Okay.
That concludes today's meeting.
Okay.
All right.